Hello, my name is Zombie878. Welcome back to a new tutorial. We are going to be making a stamina system today. The stamina system will be able to upgrade our stamina so we will have more of it. We will be able to have it where if we stand still, we'll regain the stamina, and we're also going to have it where the stamina will delay once it reaches zero so you don't immediately get it right away. So let's get started. First, you want to turn on beta content and then type in HUD and get the HUD element chip. Just going to place that a little higher up in the air, get display HUD element, and we're just going to spawn a few more in. We're going to spawn in get HUD element max value. We're going to spawn in one for just the regular value and not the max value. We're going to spawn in a set HUD element max value, and we're going to spawn in two HUD element values, set HUD element values. And that's all. Now we're going to spawn in two event receivers. So spawn in one right here and spawn in one a little bit under that. This should be fine. We're going to get a local player chip. And we're going to get if local player should run. Next, we're going to get a combatant get velocity chip. And we're just gonna spawn in an int variable. We actually want to spawn in two int variables. So spawn in one and then copy this because we do not want it to change the int variable's name. Then we want to get an add, and we want to get a subtract. Okay, so first off, we're going to connect our local player to the if local player should run chip. And we're going to change this event receiver next to it to 30 hertz a second and connect it to the local player chip. Next, we're going to connect the local player to the combatant, get velocity chip. And we're just going to get a, I will go for a greater than or equal chip. Yeah, spawn in a greater than or equal chip with an if chip. Now we're going to connect the should run to the top of the if chip, and we're going to be connecting the speed to this and the bool value to the bool value on the if chip, and we're going to change it to 4 because when you're walking you don't reach a speed of 4, but if you start sprinting then you reach a speed of 4. Okay, so after that, we're going to move it up here. So if you're running at a speed of 4 or higher, we're going to have it to where this activates. We're going to connect the top of the subtract chip to the get HUD element value. And let's go ahead and fix up our HUD real quick so you know what it's doing. We're going to change it to primary or secondary. We're not going to change it to any of these. And once you change it to primary, change it to whatever color you want. I'll change it to green, and we're going to change the value to 0 and the max value to, let's change it to 75. We're going to preview our HUD element. It's right here. I'm going to turn that off though. Okay, so the event receiver right here, you want to have it player joined and connected to here. So whenever the player joins, it shows the HUD. But since I am not planning on leaving the game, I'm actually going to switch this to a 30 hertz. I'll just change it to test event. That way when I hit test event, it will, oh, I didn't disconnect this. I need to disconnect this. Okay, now you see that I hit test event and this showed up. So what this does is connect your HUD element to all these. So this will get your HUD element value, which is 0 for right now. We're going to change that. But we're going to subtract 1 from the HUD element value. So every time you run and you reach a certain speed, it's going to subtract 1 from your value. And your value will go into the int variable, and it will go into the set HUD element value, which is right here. And it will set this. And how we're going to get the max value is we're going to connect the max value to here. And we're actually going to set this when the player joins. This should be player joined for you. I'm just using test event. And now if I hit test event, I need to delete this. Now if I hit test event, you'll see my stamina. I'm walking. I can't sprint. I'll show you why I can't sprint in a second. It's because I already got the roll and already did this. But you see, if you do go faster than 4, it will go down by 1. And now we're going to make it so when it hits 0, so we're going to get a less than or equal to chip. And we're just going to copy this if chip up here. And we're going to get a delay chip. So it doesn't reset to 75 right away. Put down the delay chip. Move it back a little. And I'm going to put the delay on 3 seconds. You can put it on anything you want. And now when this is less or equal to 0, this will activate when it sets. It will run the delay chip. After the 3-second delay, it will set back to 75. As you saw there, it was lower than that, so it set back to 75. And we're going to connect that run chip to something else later. But as you see, if I go above 4, it will delay for 3 seconds and fill back up. Now let's do the stamina because, okay, so we're going to set it so everyone cannot sprint, but we're going to make a role called stamina that I already set up. and we're going to make it so people who got that role can run. So now we're going to spawn in a player add role and a player remove role. Player add, player remove. Okay, we're going to name both of them to stamina. And this will add and get rid of the role stamina. We're going to connect it to the local player who activates the machine. And now we're going to make it so when the game starts, we're going to disconnect this. When the game starts, we're going to, or when a player joins, it's going to add the stamina roll to them. And it's also going to, yeah, we're just going to make it so when a player joins, it will add the stamina roll. And we're also going to have it, if this reaches 0, we're going to remove the stamina roll until this activates. And then when this activates, we're going to add the roll back. So as you can see, I can sprint from the white streaks on my screen, then it takes away stamina, which I can't sprint, and then I can sprint again. Now we're going to make it so if it is lower than the max, it will go up by 1. So we're going to copy the less. We're actually going to get a less than chip, not less or equal. We're going to get a less than chip, place it down here, move that back a little, and we're going to copy another if chip. So if your current stamina, which we're going to connect it to right here, if your current stamina is less than the max stamina, which it is, then if you're standing still, which this will always be activated, we're going to connect this to here. Well, first, we're not going to connect it to here because it will set it to 0, but we're going to get the top of the add chip, get the HUD element value, and we're going to add 1 to that. And it's going to go up into this int variable. You don't need to worry about this output. And now if we set this here and we set this to the set HUD element, it will go up by 1. So you see me sprinting, my sprint is low and I can wait, but it seems to be going up really fast. So we're actually going to, yeah, and you see once it reaches 0, it's going to not do that. So we're, this won't activate. So we're actually going to get a greater than chip now. Greater than. We're going to get a greater than chip. Place it down here. Going to move that back a little bit. And we're going to lower another if chip. Now we're going to take the current HUD element value, and if this is greater than 0, then we're going to have it here. So this gets the HUD element value, and if it's less than 75, it's going to go up. This will get the current HUD element value, which is the one we have down here. And if it's greater than 0, then this will activate. So we are actually going to we're actually going to take the DIN chip here. We're going to connect it down here. And we are going to take the, what does this do, greater than, so 75, if it's not true, then it will stop. Okay, so if this is false, or was it true? Let me try the true. It keeps going up, and then once it hits 0, it stops. So yeah, you want to get the HUD element value at 75, this one, and it is greater than 0, and connect this to here. So now if I get it down here, it's going to go up, but if I get it down to 0, it stays there until I, it goes down to 0, and then you can't spin anymore. Now we're going to make a upgrade system. So we're going to spawn a button, and we're going to rename this button to level 1. Then we're going to spawn about 2 more buttons. I think that's good. Now, this set HUD element max value, we're actually going to move this down to the button, and we're going to copy it 2 times for each button. Oh, let's change this level 2 real quick, and this one to level 3. And we're also going to connect the HUD element, which is up here. So if your stamina is level 1, we're going to take our 75 and let's double it to get 150. And we're going to keep adding 75. So 75 plus 150 is 225. And 225 plus 75 should be 300. And we're going to have it to where if I press the button, the stamina goes up. And if you are having trouble running this for everyone, Connector should not run to this, and it should work everything out. So now, if you see how short my stamina is, if I click on level 1, my stamina will get longer. If I hit on level 3, my stamina will get even longer. But if I hit on level 1 again, it's if I hit on level 1 again, stamina should, it's going to change to 100, right? Oh, I see. The reason it's not showing is because this sets to 300. So this upgrade system just goes up. You can't make the person go down unless you do something with the numbers. If you guys want me to show you that in the next tutorial, give this a thumbs up. But if you like the tutorial, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.